A case for Judge Christie, an unbelievable headline, confessions, assholes, and more. This week is a Patreon appetizer sampler.
A bump in the night, your heart fills with dread. Probably a murderer who wants you dead. It could be a ghost, a demon, or worse. Perhaps you're the victim of a witch's curse. It's hopeless, you're doomed. You'd call a priest if you could. You'd rather just listen to who? Sinisterhood.
Well, have the buzzing of chainsaws stopped around your house?
All is quiet on the Western Front as of now, but from about 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., it was just Chainsaw City over here.
So your husband once said Texas is where the chainsaws massacre.
Yeah, they did. They had to massacre part of our beautiful oak tree in the front yard, which is like one of the reasons we bought this house. It looks like it's out of a storybook. It's like the most amazing tree, and it's just gorgeous. And this really, really bad storm we had morning / I guess my phone went off at like 5 a.m. with the loudest motherfucking alarm. It could have woken the dead. And I was like, holy shit, like what is that? And I grabbed my phone. It was like, weather alert, severe weather, take shelter. I was like, babe, I think that we might need to go in the bathroom.
Yeah, get the children.
And he like went to the window. He was like, oh shit. And it was like, I mean, it was winds as strong as the Category 1 hurricane.
That's what they said.
80 miles an hour winds. So, and we think what happened actually is our tree got hit by lightning because there is this huge burn mark. And like, luckily it wasn't the whole tree, but this giant limb cracked and then fell right on our neighbor's house on their roof. And now they have a hole in their roof. But they were super cool about it. I'll tell you what, these things bond a neighborhood.
Truly.
Everybody was out to see. I mean, our street is just like littered with fallen limbs and stuff, but none more so than the big ass one of our tree. But luckily nobody was hurt. And we're going to have an arborist come out and look at it because I'm very worried that we're going to lose the whole tree. And
no, there's a right way.
I can't handle the thought of that.
No. I'm sure the arborists will be. That's what they do. They're tree people, and they'll shape it up. But yeah, Dallas is officially a disaster area. What a day to get woken up at 5 a.m.
I mean, I don't know that we needed this storm to make it a disaster area.
Yeah, right? You said it felt like this for the last decade. I sleep with like those, like the headphone wrap, and that storm sound came directly through the headphone wrap, right through, ironically, the rain sounds that I'd listen to sleep. So
you're like, God, this app really turned itself up. It's set off a weather alert.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't turn on wind sounds. It was just rain sounds. But seriously, we are very, very lucky because we're not the only state that's been hit, and there's been 7 people killed nearby. I mean, up just about an hour, maybe an hour and a half north of us. So we are all considered extremely lucky, but we are not able to record a full episode because my power keeps flashing out. Literally, as I walked in here, I was like, oh, my whole computer is set up. I have to reset it up because the power flashed, and turned it off and turn it back on. But I'd take this over any of the other stuff. So all told, we're very, very lucky.
Yeah, there's minor damage. We lost a shutter, too, off of the front of the house. How just one, I don't know. But all the animals and everything are okay.
Yes.
Tommy did had to run outside. We're all in the bedroom. I mean, all in the bathroom. He had to go, like, get Ella. And we took Simon. We had all these pillows and blankets in the bathroom, like the internal bathroom. Had Kate in there. And we're like, we got to go get Petal. And so Tommy ran out there, and he was like, Petal, come on. It was like Wizard of Oz style. Petal comes out of her house, and she was fine. But when Petal gets nervous, like so many of us,
Yes.
she's got to poop.
I heard
So Tommy
that.
is like running through this hurricane to get back to the house, and Petal's running, and then she stops midway to take a dump. So Tommy's like, Petal, not now. But
Hard relate.
She right?
We're all waiting for you. We might die because you had to take a dump. I'm like,
you know what?
Yeah.
You can't stop it once it started.
No.
So she is fine. Everybody is fine. I have several friends that suffered a lot more damage. One in particular, oh my goodness, their roofs inside their homes collapsed and just everything is water damaged. So we could have had it much, much worse. And there are so many people that did. So if you're in this area or you've been affected, our hearts go out to you. And there's a lot of different places to donate to people that have really lost everything from this just influx of tornadoes and storms we've seen lately.
Yeah, and apparently it's not over yet. So it's almost raining every day until we leave town next for tour. So looking forward to that. Hopefully it's just rain and not any more of 80-mile-an-hour winds, because that was quite a sound. I did wake up when the sirens went off and was like, I got to put shorts on, because if my house... something happens and I end up on the news, they're going to be like, "Oh,
you got to run out."
Panties was just like, it was so loud. I sounded like a freight train. You know, I'm going to end up on the news.
And Tommy has never really been in a storm like that. I've been in several hurricanes, humble brag.
I mean, right? You're like, maybe I lived in Florida and Houston for a while.
But they are so scary, because you're like, man, we're inside, but it sounds like the door could fly open at any second, and there's just
vulnerability.
Nobody can do anything. It's the weather. Nobody can get mad. You just gotta, it's nobody's fault. Well,
it's not our world.
I mean,
it just does
our
what it
fault.
wants.
It is our fault because global warming, and we're doing this to ourselves.
Listen, we caused all of it. It's been proven we've caused it. But like you say, it's not our world. It just does what it wants. So what we're doing is, and since we can't have a prolonged episode for you, we do have a little appetizer sampler of your favorite bits from Patreon. Y'all have not heard these in the main feed before, and I was surprised because these are some of my favorite ones that we have covered. So buckle up. This is quite you're going on a journey today. You just let it happen to you is all I'm going to say.
We talk about these a lot. We reference these a lot in like Q&As and stuff. These are kind of some of the inside jokes. The more talked about ones. So yeah, if you didn't hear him the first time, or even if you did, Kate's husband thinking he can fight a chimp lives rent free in my head.
I've forgotten not only that, but we get off on a little bit of a tangent in that one, and it is very silly. So please enjoy. We're going to have to make the bracelets. All I'm going to say is listen in, and we're going to have to get those rubber bracelets made. But thank you all so much for sticking with us this week. And like Christy said, our heart goes out to anybody that was worse affected than us, and batten down the hatches because it ain't over yet.
Yeah. Well, and before we get to that, you mentioned that it's going to be raining every day until we go on tour, which that's not fun, but touring is super fun.
Yes.
And we're going to be hitting Charlotte and Raleigh on June 11th and June 12th. So if you're in that area, go to sinisterhood.com/live shows for information on how you can get tickets to our full moon energy tour, which is what, Heather?
Oh, it's so fun. We talk about the dark side of the moon. We talk about what it does to us. Does it really matter that we're made of water and the moon affects our tides? What lurks up there? Are there, I don't know, species, other things, water? Who knows? And what really happened during the Apollo missions? No matter what it was, it really messed up the people that went up there. And we talk a lot about that.
Yeah.
From the legend and the lore to all the mysterious and the macabre, we bring together all the things you love the most about the show. And we're not just going to Charlotte and Raleigh here in June. After that, we're going to Cincinnati, Cleveland, Toronto, Kansas City, Oklahoma City, San Diego, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and Dallas. And we cannot freaking wait.
It's going to be so much fun. It's such a fun show. If you've seen it before, we've changed it up some. I personally think it's a tighter show now.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was telling my friend Megan, who saw it in San Francisco, about it. And I was like, yeah, we made these changes. And she's like, oh, I wanted to hear that. And I said, well, we're not coming back to San Francisco. You're going to have to come to San Diego or Las Vegas or something. We'll have to make it
We're
work.
like It's kind of like the Eras tour in that, like, you know, I mean, she relieves
exactly
tortured
like that. Yeah.
poets department, and then you just have to add it in. And
Yes.
so, like, we're just like that, and we just had to add
Same.
this in. So you do have to buy another ticket if you want to see the changes, because we don't have a Disney special yet.
We don't. But someday. But for all the details, including dates, times, venues, and more, visit sinisterhood.com/live shows. But in the meantime, I say grab yourself some dip and get into this appetizer sampler. Sinisterhood will be right back. We all know there are things in life you have to compromise on. Like, you know, you want to really buy like that perfect outfit, but you waited to the last second. So then you go to the store and you're like, well, I wouldn't wear any of these normally, but it's the only thing they have. Mm-hmm. Which is fine for an outfit for something you're going to and you obviously didn't care about enough because you didn't shop early enough. But when it comes to your health, there is no compromise. So please don't go to that one doctor who used your appointment last time to catch up on their latest headlines or tell you about their family gossip or ask you to give them the answer on their crossword puzzle just because they happen to be available now.
No, you can't compromise on stuff like that. Instead, you got to check out Zocdoc, the place where you can find and book doctors who will make you feel comfortable. They listen to you and they prioritize your health. You can also search by location, availability, and insurance. So literally no compromises here, because with Zocdoc, you've got more options than you even know.
And I didn't even know some of the types of doctors I wanted were available on my insurance until I was put all my info into Zocdoc. And then also you start to read the reviews and you're like, I got to see this person.
I got to see what the hubbub's all about.
Well, not saying I'm coming up with things wrong with me, but it's stuff that I've put off that I thought, well, you know, it's going to be a whole deal to try to find a person. And it's so easy. I'm like, well, I can't put this off.
I love it. It's everything. I'm a big fan of everything being contained in like a one-stop shop, and Zocdoc does that, and it stores all your insurance information so you don't have to go scrambling for stuff. Everything is right there in the app. I use it to find all of my doctors. Tommy uses it to find his doctors. We've used it to find the kids' doctors. We don't just talk about it. Like, we're users, Heather.
Would be me too. Paris and I both. It could not be easier. Zocdoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly book appointments with them online. We're talking about booking appointments with thousands of top-rated, patient-reviewed doctors and specialists.
You can filter specifically for ones who take your insurance, are located near you, and treat almost any condition you're searching for.
Go to ZocDoc.com/creepy and download the Zocdoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZocDoc.com/creepy. ZocDoc.com/creepy.
You are forgiven. Well, our final confessor is Christina, who writes to us saying, let me start by gushing. You are both amazing, and I love everything you do. I've been wanting to write a Freaky Friday story for a bit now, but life, you know? One of these days I will, but when you ladies asked for a petty confession, I knew there was no time to wait on this. I've told my husband this story, and that's about it. He has also told many of his coworkers because it's one of his favorite stories about me. He says it's so out of character because I'm really not a petty person, but one time, oh, I absolutely was. I used to work for a manager who was pretty dismissive of employees' thoughts or feelings. I was newer in the group, having transferred in from a different department, excited about a new promotion and all the possibilities that came with it. What I didn't realize was that there were a few older ladies in the department who ran things. They didn't like new ideas or change, and honestly were just mean and overbearing. I'm non-confrontational and can be timid. Here's an example. I changed a process slightly. I was the only one who ran this process, the only one affected by it, and the change caused me to save about 15 minutes. After I made the change, one of the ladies laid into me for a good half an hour, after which I ended up crying for a while in the bathroom. This was not the first or only event, but it was the worst. So I decided to go talk to my manager. The manager did absolutely nothing. He said the ladies would be retiring in a few years and a promotion for me would come when they did. So I should just sit tight and quietly wait until then. I started applying for new jobs that day. I also started my petty streak. Now, this manager was actually a fairly nice guy. He would come in and say hello to each employee every morning and would buy us donuts each Thursday because many people had Friday off. The whole group knew that this man loved his blueberry donuts. In the dozen that he bought, there would always be 2 blueberry donuts, one for an employee and one for him. After walking in and greeting the employees, he'd drop the donut box in the break room and then head to his office to start his computer and put his stuff away before heading back to the break room to make coffee and get his donut. This was his routine, like clockwork. Enter petty me. I would head to the donuts in the 15 minutes or so that I had, usually while everyone was in a meeting and the boss was in his office. I took both blueberry donuts, headed back to my desk, and popped them both wrapped in a napkin in my purse. This happened for 2 weeks. And on the 3rd week, the manager went around asking about his blueberry donut. Nobody knew where they went, and nobody knew who the blueberry donut thief was. Week 4, there were 3 blueberry donuts. Because who would take 3 donuts? Unfortunately, the blueberry donut thief struck again, and the manager was left eating a maple bar.
Ugh.
Weeks went by, and the amount of blueberry donuts grew to 4, then 5, and that manager never got a single one. I transferred out of that department a few months later, but not before satiating the sweetest tooth I ever had. It's been years since this happened. I've only confessed to my husband and now to you lovely ladies. I never thought I'd been that petty before, and I've never been that petty since. But even now, when I see a blueberry donut, I smile knowingly. Oh, what a good feeling.
Man, this sounds like a Curb episode or Seinfeld. This is something George would do 100%.
You took the donut? I took the donut.
I took the donut. You took 5 blueberry donuts. I took 5 blueberry donuts.
He wasn't getting a donut. Not for me. Not on my watch. And you're like, you can't eat 5 blueberry donuts. I did.
Watch me.
And then Kramer's like, I've eaten 5 blueberry donuts.
And Jerry's like, oh, here we go. And then Elaine comes in. The guy I'm dating right now loves blueberry donuts.
He's a blueberry donut fiend. He said someone at work has been stealing the blueberry donuts out of his box. And then George starts to sweat.
George, he hasn't been the same since you started taking these donuts. You got to give him back to him. He's refusing to have sex. I'm not doing it, Elaine. I'm not doing it. George! Oh, here we go. We just read a whole Seinfeld.
There it is. We're writing the blueberry donut incident. It's our spec script, our Seinfeld spec script. We'll send it to Larry David. But for real, I love this type of revenge where you're not slitting his tires. Like you're not waiting until he goes in the bathroom and locking him in. You know, it's just something that he has refused to step up as he should have and defend the honor of his employees, or at least, say, hey, ladies, stay in your lane. She's able to handle her. You know what I mean? Just mediate discussions between employees, which if that's not what a manager does, I don't know what the fuck they do, except for like sign stuff. They do.
He certainly shouldn't say, well, they'll retire in a few years and then you'll get your promotion. What? Like, why are those two things contingent upon each other? Just go and handle this.
Also, way to start like a feud of like, I'm waiting till you get out of here, Dolores. I'll fucking watch you. I'll watch you walk out that door.
I was waiting for some pettiness towards the 3 evil stepsisters too, because it sounds like those 3 run the office and know that they can, and nobody's going to step up to them. And that shit, when I worked in offices, that rubbed me the wrong way. It's like, this has nothing to do with you. Like you said, stay in your lane.
Mind your business.
Yeah, mind your business. And if you don't, I'm going to go to the manager. Oh, nothing's happening. I'll take a half dozen blueberry donuts before you get one.
I'll take the only thing that you look forward to every week and I will shove it in my mouth and I will eat it.
I have got to hear his side of this. He's like, they're like, oh, Greg, you want another blueberry donut this week? Yeah.
A dozen.
I think this is the week I'm going to get one. I'm pretty sure this is going to be it.
I like that he didn't
5 now. I guess you didn't get one. No, I didn't. We're going up to 6. Finally, a dozen blueberry donuts are coming to this office.
Nobody else
I will
likes
say
them.
They're also my favorite donuts, so
yeah.
I get it. But how funny that he went around to ask people. Damn, you're
Just
like,
quick
don't
question.
fuck with me.
Hey, I just want to know, did you grab any donuts this morning? No, I never eat donuts. You're like, oh, okay. Christina, I was just checking.
Ladies, empty your purses. Gentlemen, empty your wallets.
Like, wait, what?
It's a whole Clue situation.
Yeah, I put the donut right in his wallet, sat on it, just one hip too high. I think this is great. You don't even deserve forgiveness. You deserve a holiday in your name celebrating you.
Yeah, Blueberry Day, Blueberry Donut Day. I think
the power back.
Is now, we call it Christine's Day, and everybody go eat a blueberry donut. Yeah, that's a holiday I can absolutely get behind.
Yeah, that's these are the petty confessions. I appreciate everyone understanding the assignment where it's something that you might not trot out at a party because there's a little shame involved to it, but we're here to say no shame. You've been absolved of your guilt and you have been forgiven forever.
I think I would tell that blueberry story a lot.
Oh yeah,
I think don't feel bad. It's very funny. Yeah. And I love that your husband's like taking it upon himself to spread this lore around his own office, but also it's kind of a flex because the subtext there is, so anyways, don't fuck with me because I know how to get real petty if you do.
Right. I'll go home and tell my wife and Christina will be like, what do they love most? Destroy it.
Take that from them every week.
So they feel your pain.
God, the only thing better would have been like, and then he quit because he just, he couldn't take it anymore.
His behavior became more erratic. He was shouting. The donuts were the only thing between himself and sanity, and he just lost it. He freaked out.
Oh, man. Well, and those 3 Bettys, I hope that they stayed in their lane and you got to just work in peace because there's no need for that.
Yeah, imagine being like, I can save myself 15 minutes and it affects no one, and having someone scream at you and be like, you don't change things in here. We take the time it takes as long as it takes.
And then you go cry in the bathroom. Yeah. There are a few things more humiliating than being yelled at in a professional setting by a peer or manager. Mm-hmm. And then being like, oh, I'm at work now and I'm going to have to go in the bathroom and cry as a grown adult. I've been there. Yeah. It takes you back to like middle school when you're like bullied or something and you're in the bathroom crying. Like it's that same like burning feeling in your chest of just like shame and sadness. And I want somebody that's like safe to be around me right now.
Right. I'm isolated on Asshole Island. And you feel like that, like sting in your eyes as they're actually yelling at you. Cause I'm like an angry crier too. So if I'm gonna cuss you out, I might also be crying while I do it. Yep. I also just like get happy and cry and then sad and cry and mad. I just cry no matter what.
Yeah, I cry for any emotion you can think of. Yeah. Tears could be involved. And often
always on the table. They're always on the table if you're around. But no, you're right. That feeling of like it shrinks you, it diminishes you, and it makes you feel like smaller than, lesser than, or whatever. So I'm really glad for Christina that when you stole that donut, all those donuts, you weren't doing it for you. You were doing it for all of us who've been shit on at work. So thank you. For every donut you took, that was a shred of dignity for every one of us who's been hollered at by some jerk at work.
Yeah, work jerk.
The old work jerk.
The old
different
work
thing.
Jerk.
Don't do that. You will not be.
No.
They will fire you for that.
They will come around and ask some questions at each cubicle too if there's a work jerk going on.
Someone took all the blueberry donuts for a work jerk. You just stack them up like that baby toy with like all the things on the center.
I recently saw one of those, so yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, Christina, thank you for doing what all of us have wanted to do before and sharing it with us. We, like Heather said, there's no forgiveness necessary. If it makes you feel better, we will say you are forgiven. But to us, not all heroes wear capes.
Exactly. You get exalted. You get a day in your honor to be celebrated.
Oh, maybe we could saint people.
That's right. Yes, it's like knighting, but we're going to saint you. You are the patron saint of donut revenge.
Oh, patron saint of blueberry donut revenge. Yeah. My favorite donut. Oh, man.
Man, I miss a blueberry donut. I hadn't had a good one in a hot minute.
So good. Cake and blueberry donuts. Those are my jam. And blueberry donuts are just like cake donuts, but with blueberries. So they're even better. They're so good.
Sinisterhood will be right back. Well, this very final story to lighten things up, I guess. Is it
man.
light? It's horrifying. For those of you,
I feel like when I see things like this that I've been living in a bubble because I'm just like, surely that. I mean, it wouldn't even occur to me that somebody would do this, and then I see it, and I'm like, oh my God. Then I realize, oh, a lot of people probably do this.
Yeah, it's like this is just the one that got caught. Well, for those of you who aren't aware, down in Harris County, Texas, in the town
Harris County, y'all need to get your shit together. It's Houston, for those of you that aren't from around here.
Yes, this is a little suburb area called Spring, Texas. On Thursday, February 8th, a male customer sporting a kilt was seen on camera in the Antique Gallery of Houston, concealing store items beneath his kilt before returning them to the shelf. Susan Golden, who's the manager of the Antique Gallery, reviewed the footage and was shocked to see it. She said, quote, "I had to watch it a couple times to be sure I knew what I was looking at." She also said,
Susan,
"I've seen quite a few things here, but not that."
No one has, Susan. We're all fucking shocked.
This is an 85,000 square foot antique shop, and she's been managing for 20 years. So
bless her, because that is not a job for the faint of heart for several reasons.
So what happened is a dealer had their own surveillance footage of their section. So some of these antique stores, you kind of rent a booth, and it's like your stuff in this booth. So the dealer of this booth said on footage they saw an unknown man picked up kitchen utensils, including a spoon, place it under his garment, and then put it back on the shelf. And when you watch his face and watch what he's doing,
it's showing right up his poop chute. There's not a doubt about it.
I would bet my life on it.
He lifts his leg.
Yeah,
he does a little leg lift.
Yeah,
I think one of the items kind of looks like a candlestick. I don't know, but it's going right up there too for several seconds. Coming out, putting it back on the shelf. Mind you, he is shopping with his wife. It says a female companion. Yeah, somebody who at one point you hear them off camera. So he's walking around. He's not by himself.
No.
He's wearing, like a tank top and a kilt.
Yeah. And it says, he and his female companion spent hours in the store, made no purchases. They did this in he did this in several sections of the store, with all of the items estimated to be worth around $200. So they reported it, obviously. And when they reported it to the Precinct 4 Constable and the Harris County Sheriff's Department, it came to light that he had been spotted in other antique stores in Galveston and Tomball, Texas. So the photographs of him were not only circulated around the community, but also Tizzy Ent on TikTok, who does a lot of breaking news, kind of like go sign this petition kind of videos. Put it out there.
The one I sent you is that guy that is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
The guy with the beard?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Susan, Susan Golden, who manages, she said, "I hope he gets what he deserves. I don't really know. All I know is he needs to be caught and stopped." And the good news is, guys, they caught him.
I imagine so. The footage is
it's crystal clear.
It's his face. I would be mortified, but I got some theories. So continue, and then
yes, his name is Mitchell Vest. He was charged with criminal mischief. Fake name. He was arrested February 16th, so it only took about 8 days for him to be arrested. The constable's office said they received information from multiple concerned citizens about the identification from the man, and then they went and they met him in person and identified him. The antique shop did say they removed the tampered items from the shelves. They conducted a thorough sanitation in the gallery, but I can't believe it. The fucking spoon booty bandit.
Oh, so here is my theory. Well, one, I don't think this is a theory. I think it's some kind of kink or fetish or whatever it is about something going up there. If that's what you want to do, that's totally cool. But you can't do it with items that don't belong to you and then put it back on a shelf where someone else is going to touch that in a non-consensual manner. If you want to buy that spoon and take it home and do whatever you want to do with it, go for it. But you can't knowingly expose people to such gross stuff.
Yes. That's how I feel. It's like non-consensual. Yeah,
No.
I found his arrest affidavit. Mitchell Cooper Vest is his name. He lives in the Woodlands. It looks like he's white male, date of birth 12/15/1963. So he's been at it, I guess, for a minute. It says allegation.
This was not his first go round.
Yeah, it says
a long shot.
It says pursuant to a continuing course of conduct. It says he damaged tangible property, including one makeup brush, one hardware piece, and it says by placing the hardware piece into defendant's anus, an antique bottle opener, a tobacco tin.
What? A tin? Like a box?
That's what it says. Tobacco tint can. I wonder what that is. TENT.
Maybe it's like cylindrical because of a cigarette or something.
Yeah, it says placing the antique bottle opener and the tobacco tint can into defendant's anus.
A bottle opener.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these are sharp.
Yeah, that's... You can imagine the first fucking... It's not funny. It's ridiculous. Because it just says detective.
Horrifying.
It's horrifying.
I'm like, what have I touched that has been up somebody's ass that I don't know
ass
about?
Pennies. It's like the ass pennies off of fucking Upright Citizens Brigade. I take those pennies, shove them on my ass. And then you don't know how many times people have touched your ass pennies. But it says that the Deputy Patterson received a call that said a man grabbed several items and shoved them up his anus. And then he put them back on display. But they said that the witnesses are credible and reliable and that they, a different place, the Curiosity Shop. So he did it at two different places.
He was sure curious.
Yeah. It says the complainants advised that they threw the items away and due to feces on them. God damn.
I'm weak.
No. Yeah, it says he was identified. Yeah, in regards to our case, it says the male was identified by. It was the Department of Public Safety officer as a trooper. Trooper Woodard saw the posting on social media and contacted our agency to relay the information and said it was him. They ran him through. Blah blah blah. So it was him. What fucking wild ride!
Now, here's my second theory or question.
Yeah.
Do you think the female companion knew what was going on? You think she's part of it? You think she's kind of like the lookout? Like, I know what he's going to go do, so I'm like a part of this, doing it herself. She wasn't caught on anything. Or she's just like, yeah, let's go antiquing today. Oh, I see you're wearing your kilt again. So that's fun.
It's our Saturday plan. Like Mitchell puts on his kilt. We go antiquing. It's great. He spends hours in the store. I'm in my section. He's in his. I think either she doesn't know or she knows he likes to do it and is like, I'm just going to walk my own separate way.
Turn a blind eye to it.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, not just be like, I didn't see it. I didn't see nothing. But we all saw it. And whatever. I mean, I know criminal mischief is a pretty low charge because it was like less than $750 worth of damage. That's kind of like the standard. Although I wonder at what point could you, since it's an object, it's like, is that not some type of sexual crime? But his name is forever going to be
damage. Yeah. Also, I mean, anytime somebody Googles you, wow, like good luck ever living that down or getting a job again.
No.
If she did not know, and this is how she found out, I hope she finds a real ride or die antique buddy that is not trying to shove all of those spoons up their asshole. And she can go look at a bunch of fucking old shit in peace.
Yeah, let's go antiquing. Yeah, I'll go with you. You're only going to look at stuff, right? And you're like, yeah, I'm just going to look. Right? Why are you wearing a skirt? It's hot outside. Can you change? I've been hurt before.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like the emotional damage of it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, maybe that spoon was only a couple bucks, but having to watch someone shove that up their ass in your store and then put it back and then
it's violating. It's violating.
If you were at that antique mall on that day in that section, I feel like you're entitled to emotional compensation.
Yeah, we should all sue him.
That would fuck me up. Because how long did they, between that and they saw it, were those items out before they were removed? And then even once they're removed, DNA transfer and whatnot. I mean, honestly, I think this is a good lesson for all of us.
Don't touch
regardless
anything.
if people are shoving things up their ass or not.
Mm-hmm.
I lately, when I go to stores, I'm like just so aware of how many people have touched things.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will get in the car and immediately be like, oh my God. Like, or the kids, if they like got a snack, I'm like, we got to sanitize everything before you like put something in your mouth.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Because, I mean, even if it's not going straight up there, imagine thousands of people that have or haven't washed their hands. Where have those hands been?
Everybody's hand.
Yeah, touching something that then you pick up and put in your cart and then you take home and put in your house.
Everybody's hand has touched a genital at some point, whether it was theirs or a friend's. And so you
during
have to
the day,
at some point,
we all go to the bathroom.
Everybody
we all
goes to the
change
bathroom?
diapers.
Mm-hmm.
It's everywhere.
Go antique shopping, whatever. But yeah, that's why I'm always just like, I'm going to not touch my mouth or my face until I have squirted some Sani on my hands.
I need to, like when COVID first hit, I mean, we all know it was like you wiped everything down. I would get in the car and before I even touched the steering wheel, I would like wipe everything down.
We got to go back to it.
I don't want to go back to that being that strict, but I do feel like we've all maybe lightened up a bit too much. Where now we're like, just shove it up your ass, and that's fine. It makes you like COVID made me so aware in retrospect of like when COVID was like at its height. I remember watching TV shows like reruns or something. And I'm like, man, we all just used to sit in an office building or just like be crammed in a fucking bus together, like just breathing on each other. And you're like, this has been going on forever. Like, no wonder we're all sick and we're just consuming shit. Everything. Yeah.
And we didn't even know. You're just out trying to buy an antique bottle opener and you don't even know that it was a bottom opener. It's truly horrible, though. I feel bad for these antique people. They had to throw them away, too. I'm like, now you're damaging antique pieces of property. This isn't like you went to the dollar store and it was something, reasonably disposable. This is like someone's family heirloom.
Man.
It's fucked up.
Yeah,
He's a terrible person.
Is. And keep your kinks at home.
Consensual kinks only. I'm here for kinks. If you love to shove things up your ass, buy them. Take them home, shove them up your ass in the privacy of your own home, and
even
enjoy.
In that situation, I would still sanitize before I shove it up my ass because even if it comes out of like a plastic, like container, like you got to like rip a million things open to get into anything inside.
I was trying to open a lighter the other day, like for the fireplace. It's just like hermetically sealed. I was like, I just took scissors and cut that bitch open.
Children's toys. I'm like, what do they think is going to fucking happen? Like it's
Dunzo.
Fort Knox to get into one of those. But just give it a wipe. Sanitize stuff. Yeah. Before
you stick anything in an orifice.
Before you wear them.
Yeah. Don't just put them right up, especially an antique. You don't know what kind of ancient germs is on there. And now they're in your ass. But Mitchell Cooper vest. We're all on to you, buddy.
I didn't even think about that part of it because I was so disgusted
by
the person that comes up after it. How unsanitary that is for him.
Yeah, it's not good. That's a sensitive area. Don't
into a body cavity. You're just putting stuff that there's all sorts of germs and
people have touched it, but then. And it's sharp. There's edges. Things could be under. Bacteria could be under there.
Maybe
you can
that's
get tetanus.
Part of his
tetanus in the anus.
Liking of it. Tetanus in the anus.
Terrible. Tetanus shot. He got a shot. Well, may he pay restitution to the people whose things he damaged and stay the fuck out.
Because I had to watch that video.
You owe me $5, sir.
We'll put it in the TikTok. So just heads up.
Yeah, you can watch
your
the
own
video.
risk. I know all of you are going to watch it. Of course, I would too. I may have to go back and rewatch it just because I can't believe that it happened. But it probably happens way more than we think. So that's a fun note to end this on. I would have been expecting it. So
yeah, and just for the same reason, I'll tell you this subject line after we go through it. The poster is a 27-year-old male. His fiance, 26-year-old female. Met at a college. We were in our school's performing arts program, and we met in a puppetry class.
I don't know why that got me.
In the class, we designed our own puppets. Mine, named Hat Boy, and my fiance's, Daisy, were what we initially used to talk to each other and flirt in class.
Oh, no.
We fell in love, and in a way, we've considered Hat Boy and Daisy to be in love as well. Years after graduating, we still use Hat Boy and Daisy at home.
I don't like
and
this.
at our local but fairly prominent theater where we perform puppet shows with high-end Muppet-style puppets. While planning our wedding, we realized we wanted Hat Boy and Daisy to be a part of the ceremony. They've been a part of us since the beginning, and it just felt right. We also invited our entire troupe of puppeteers from the theater and got the idea that we should have our wedding completely officiated by puppets and that our wedding party would be made up of puppets and our closest puppeteer friends. We figured it would make for incredible pictures.
I kind of like this. I'm kind of on board with this at this point.
Here's where we aren't sure if we're the assholes or not. We are also insisting that all of our guests also participate and use puppets. In lieu of gifts, we've asked everyone to purchase high quality, but not nearly the quality of professional puppets to use during our wedding. We took the guesswork out of it and directed them to several vendors, some of whom offer really cool options. Everyone could realistically expect to spend $150 to $500 depending on what sort of details and whatnot they wanted. We also want everyone to wear their puppets during the entire wedding and reception. All puppets we're suggesting can be mounted on and controlled with one hand. The puppets are meant to be guests at the wedding in the same way all of our human guests are as well. Well, let's just say there are a lot of people not happy with us. Both of our parents, my wife's sister, and family members on both sides have complained that this is completely unreasonable. They're concerned about things like how are they going to eat and drink? How are they going to dance? You don't need hands to dance, so I don't know where that complaint came from. And, of course, we don't expect people to have their puppet on their hand while in the bathroom, but everywhere else, we'd really insist on it. We've also made sure that all of our hors d'oeuvres are finger foods. There will be plenty of cocktail tables so people can put their drinks down. We even made sure that all of the food for the dinner itself is portioned so that it can be eaten in bite sizes with just a fork without having to use a knife.
These people are unhinged.
We really think this would make for a special day. We only get to do it once and think that will be an event that all of our guests will remember for a lifetime.
Yeah, because they are real pissed they now have a $500 puppet that they got to figure out what to do with.
You're just like,
where the fuck did I put this now that I've used it?
We have a hard time believing that once there, they wouldn't have a blast. So Reddit, are we the assholes for making what we think is a silly but harmless and reasonable request for our special day? Thanks for reading.
Okay. Silly and harmless, perhaps. Reasonable? Absolutely not. This is extremely unreasonable.
If you want to put on the invitation BYOP, that if you have a puppet and you want to bring one and I have a McGruff the Crime Dog, I would love to come. It's a high quality, nice.
I've got a couple puppets that are high quality because I myself was in a puppet troupe where we had to use puppets. So I could go to this already. I got a puppet. It's it went from like, this is going to be fun for everybody because it's the wedding party and the bride and groom, to now I have homework and a task. And I don't like going to events where that's a condition for me to be there.
Yeah, where you've now given me homework beyond wedding homework in general, which is I already have to dress up for you, which means I like you a lot because I'm like willing to put on, high heels, undergarments, a dress, and not yoga pants and a t-shirt, which is what I wear every day.
I think that these people, which is something a lot of entertainers and performers, I think, forget, is that not everyone there is a puppeteer or performer or entertainer. And something like this would feel very out of their comfort zone. And when you're going to somebody's wedding, if you're like, you don't like all eyes on you, or you just don't like weird shit, you might not want to have to deal with a puppet all night long.
Yeah, it makes me think of Bill Hader, the sketch where they're in the puppeteer class and the puppet looks just like him and he like has Vietnam flashbacks. He's like, you don't know what it was like going down there in the dirt.
Yes, that's a great one.
Well, someone made they succinctly said, fuck your puppets. But I think it's one thing to say, we're going to have a puppet ceremony and the wedding party. I think even if I won't say like telling people they have to spend $150 to $500 on a puppet to be in the wedding, but if you wanted to, help fund it, or and say you don't have to buy a dress or a suit, wear all black, and then just, spend $150 on a puppet. It does cost to be in a wedding party. I think that's a reasonable exchange. I don't think you could do both. Like rent a suit. Oh, and also by the way,
they already had puppets because they were in their puppet troupe, so they probably already have their own puppets. I'm saying if you want the entire people that come to this to have puppets, then you got to supply those puppets for them. Sometimes there's, you go to like an outdoor wedding in the winter and they have a nice basket of blankets that you can put around your shoulders during the ceremony. You get a basket of puppets, and if people want to deal with it, then it's their choice. But to require it of people, you're going to get a lot of no's.
Yeah. And especially the entire time saying like even during dinner, you can't put them down. Someone said, choose your battles, Hat Boy and Daisy. Draw the line in a reasonable place. And that reasonable place is not, I think, forcing everyone to participate in a thing. If you want to do it as, like you said, a troupe, it's your troupe. They already have their puppets. You're already good at it. You feel really connected to it. Everybody has like their weird little quirks they add in their wedding. It's beautiful. It makes it personal. It makes it you. But, you also, I don't think, can say you have to do X. And if you do, you have to be ready for even family members that love you to go, no, I'll be staying home. I'll send my regards. Thanks.
Can I just ask what everybody's thinking?
They fuck those puppets.
Hatman and Daisy are 100% going to fuck on the honeymoon, right?
If they haven't already, someone pointed out they used the puppets at home.
Oh, yeah. They role play with these puppets 100%. Yeah. And is Hatman, is Hatboy Hatman's baby? His kid?
He's a little tiny hat man. He's just a boy. Instead of like a cool top hat, he's got a little baseball cap with a little beanie on top. Yeah, they make those puppets like, like puppet mouths going at each other.
I think it would be fun and cute if you have people that know what they're doing, do the ceremony, like the puppets do the ceremony, they marry you, and they're in the wedding party. Beyond that, it's too much. It's too much. Shut it down. Get a couple pictures with the puppets, but then get some pictures without the puppets. I mean, yes, is it your wedding day and it should be all about you? Sure. But when you require something of people that costs money, that's where people start to get to bristle. So if you want them to do this, then you buy a bunch of puppets, have them there. People can pick what they want. That's kind of fun. And then you do it. But a lot of people are traditional. They want to spend the money they were going to spend for your gift on a wedding gift, not on something that they don't want to have to deal with and then find a place for after your wedding.
That's what you said. You're like, you go home and you're like, well, I spent $300 on a puppet. I guess we put it on the mantle. I don't know.
Now what do I do with this thing? Yeah.
Someone said, everyone who comes will remember this wedding for a long time, but definitely not in a good way. More like, wow, I wish I had never come.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like it roasted.
It's, it also seems like they haven't fully thought through this, and it's going to be a train wreck with people trying to eat and drink and do shit with, say you got 100 people there. That's 100 people plus 100 puppets. That's so much like bumping into and just like awkward encounters, and they're falling off of people's hands left and right. Nobody knows how to use them. It sounds like a logistics nightmare.
Also, I don't know what kind of dancing these folks are doing that said you don't need your hands to dance. I got to put my hands on my knees when I'm twerking this ass out. I can't do it look like a puppet's trying to chew on my leg.
I got to have my hands up and like kind of bounce them up and down quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I do some Beyonce hands every once in a while.
Who just stands there like a insane person with your hands down by your side, like sprockets? You just jump up like a fish.
No, we dance. Yeah, this one got me though. You know what though? I will say, on an optimistic note, there's a lid for every pot, and my God,
I'm glad they found each other, because that's a niche industry. I've known several professional puppeteers. They have all been very good at their job. I could see all of them deciding on a wedding like this.
And again, I think if it's the wedding party and they're into it, that's fine. It's someone's like, just do like a make your own puppet station or something like at the reception might be kind of fun, or like for kids. But yeah, I think hopefully the professional puppeteers, are self-aware enough to be like, people would not. People are not into this.
Is there an update? Did the wedding happen?
I do not see an update. Let's see if I can check the user. Oh, it says the user's account has been suspended.
Oh, gosh. It's because
they got roasted in the comments pretty bad.
Well, you got to go to our puppets and our wedding puppets and see if there's a subreddit for everything. So,
can you believe these normies shamed me for wanting to have a puppet wedding? The headline for this one is, "Am I the asshole for making our guests participate in our puppet themed wedding?"
I'm glad. So I like this new thing of not giving the title of it.
I think it like I said, it lends itself to a more surprise, and you're like, oh wait, what am I waiting for? What's the shoe's gonna drop?
Or it's a tiny little felt shoe. Barely makes a noise when it falls. Well, these were all very fun ones. Thank you for submitting them on Discord. And like Heather said, we're going to be doing an off my chest one that people have submitted. Those two, all from Discord. So thank you to everyone on Discord.
Yeah, y'all have sent. I was like, oh, we must do this.
Oh, yeah.
All of these. Y'all been crushing it. Thank you. Sinisterhood will be right back. Okay, the final one is from Andrea Gray, also on the Patreon Facebook group. If you have not joined that and you're in the Ruling the Airwaves tier, I highly recommend. It is a hoot and a holler.
Hoot, and a holler and a half.
And a half, and all kinds of fun stuff gets posted over there. So let's see. Am I the asshole for cleaning out the fridge without telling my husband? My husband brought home a metal box that he checks on often during the day when it's in the fridge. When he's asked about it, he said it contains freshly pickled olives that his friend Jason got from his uncle's farm, and he wanted my husband to keep them safe until he gets back from his business trip. I had no problem with him keeping it safe at the bottom of the fridge. My husband always asked me to be cautious with the box and not to open it, as it would be rude to touch other people's stuff. Yesterday, I decided to clean out the fridge, which took me about 2 hours, from unplugging the fridge, emptying all the items, including groceries, vegetables, and all containers, washing and cleaning out the inside of it, and then letting it settle before plugging it back in. I took the box my husband brought out of the fridge, and I placed it on the kitchen island alongside other containers. While I was working, I received a video call via WhatsApp from my husband while at work. He said he was feeling bored and asked what I was doing. I showed him that I was cleaning out the fridge, and he suddenly freaked out and asked what happened to the metal box. I was confused, so I told him to calm down and showed him where the box was. He got mad, telling me I should not have cleaned out the fridge or even touched the box without telling him. I again tried to tell him to calm down, as I saw no big deal with what I'd done. His precious box was safe and sound, but then he went on a rant about how the box needed to be put back inside the fridge as soon as possible. He also told me to plug the fridge in right then, but I couldn't because the fridge was wet and I still wasn't cleaning the other parts. Apparently, I pissed him off. He said I was stalling. He hung up, and 30 minutes later, he was home pitching a hissy fit, saying that I should have picked a time where he was at home to clean out the fridge so that he could take the box somewhere else and keep it cool. I said, so what is sitting out in the fridge? Oh, I said, so what? It was sitting out of the fridge for barely 2 hours. Olives can stand being outside of a fridge for a longer period of time. He said, I just don't get it. He took the box and he wanted to leave with it. I asked him where he was taking it, and he said he needed to go back to work and had no time to explain. I shrugged the whole thing off, but he came back with it in the evening and put it back inside the fridge, and then complained to me again by me cleaning out the fridge without telling him and then acting dismissive of his opinions. I argued what opinions could he have on cleaning out the fridge? He argued back, saying that he promised Jason that he would keep those olives in good condition and that I just should have told them. End of story. I wonder if I messed up. He usually doesn't get mad unless I messed up, and I think I have. Edited to add. Yes, I'm aware that my husband is acting overprotective of this box, but he always acts like that whenever someone asks to keep an item safe, like furniture or car parts. Second of all, no, I have not seen the olives myself. I have not opened the box because I didn't think I'd even have to. But my husband tends to be very protective over his friends' belongings, so I didn't give it much thought. Just in case anyone was wondering, yes, I unplugged the fridge before cleaning it out since I did the heavy cleaning. That is a common method. Just Google it if you're curious. I do it all the time. The metal box does look like a container of some sort, but my husband's been calling it a box. I'm not sure if it's much different. Anyway, am I the asshole?
Girl, those ain't olives.
What the fuck's in the box?
Dude, we gotta, shit, what's that damn movie with Brad Pitt
Seven?
and Morgan? We got a Seven situation on our hands.
Yeah.
So is the box locked? Can she open the box?
It doesn't say that she can't.
If the box, I mean, my first inclination from the jump is there are not olives in there. However, if she could open it, it would be insane for this guy to keep something like, I don't know, women's fingers in the refrigerator if she could just open it and look at that.
Yeah, unless it's like locked.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, to me, a box like would seem like it could be like locked or have like a where you have to like flip the little numbers to unlock it.
Yeah, like a combination.
Yeah. So I don't know why anyone would have that reaction if they were really just watching some olives for their friend.
It's a really specific lie. Someone said, it's a dick in a box. It's a dick in a box, girl. Another person said it's not olives. I live in Greece. It's definitely not olives. They're completely fine being stored at room temperature for around 6 to 8 months. Another person said they should be stored at cooler temperatures, but not necessarily refrigerated.
But why would you come home and lose your mind like that? Come home and then takes the box with you? Where did you take it to? Empty it out is where you took it.
You know,
put that stuff somewhere else.
Somebody else said they think it's probably explosives. They said it could be an explosive type of material. Some not so bright folks think they're safer stored undisturbed in the refrigerator. They would become extremely unstable whenever taken out of storage. So that's a good
like a bomb.
Well, so one of the cases that I was an intern for in federal court was the guy in Plano who had tried to blow up the water supply. I don't know if anybody explained how fire and water work together, but nevertheless, he had mixed this solution in a water bottle and he took it to the water treatment plant and basically was going to try to, I guess, dump it in but he didn't get very far. What ended up happening is he blew his hands up.
Ooh.
But then when the cops came, he's like, I don't know what happened. And they're like, there's a water bottle full of explosives. And then he searched his house and he had lived with his parents. He formerly worked at Blockbuster. Of course, Blockbuster shut down. So he became very anti-America and decided he was going to blow up the water supply in Plano, Texas, of all places. That'll show him. And he had kept all this stuff in the fridge. And so they were questioning his mom. And his mom's like, he said that it was all ingredients for soup. And the AUSA was like, did you ever see him make soup? Did he ever make soup and feed it to you? And she's like, no, he just told me, don't touch my ingredients. My ingredients that's for soup I'm going to make. I have a recipe planned, which technically was true. I mean, he put it all in a water bottle and then shook it up.
Sure.
And so that's a good possible explanation. I wonder, too, if people think that, because the refrigerator is closed and sealed, if you put explosives in it, it's, less likely to get knocked over. And then also, if it did explode, maybe that would, contain the blast somewhat.
Unless you're in there getting a midnight snack when it goes off.
Trying to get my balance
your
breaks.
Whole family.
And blow yourself up, too. Other people were saying maybe it's a gun or drugs.
Drugs would make more sense than a gun.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of a gun being kept in a fridge. I'm not gun savvy. It seems like I want to know if this box is locked because maybe I'm nosy, but if Tommy was losing his GD mind over a box of olives, you're goddamn right. I'm going to open that and be like, what is in this freaking box?
Well, and especially the edit when she said, well, he acts overprotective when someone asks him to keep his items safe for them. Maybe he's done it before? He's held other stuff?
Which is also kind of odd behavior.
Yeah. I'm not... She keeps saying he's insisted that it's olives. It's freshly picked olives, but I've never opened the box.
Then look.
I've never opened it myself.
Ask him to open it. And if you can't open it, if it's locked, then I think we all have our answer. Why are you going to keep olives locked in a box? Also, why would you keep olives in a metal box? Why wouldn't you have them in a glass jar?
Well, because it's not olives.
Yeah. It's a
That's what someone's like,
olive-shaped bomb. Yeah, drugs might make more sense, too.
It's like drugs, a bomb, or someone said, or olives. Who knows? Maybe it is. But I think it's probably more likely something that, I mean, it sounds like that the refrigeration is not the issue, that it's like the disturbing of the box is the issue. You know what I mean? I think he's trying to make it sound like, oh, it has to stay refrigerated, plug the refrigerator back in. But I think his concern is that she touched and moved the box.
If it is something like an explosive, he is very much in the wrong for keeping that from her. Because if you are lying to someone and telling them it's just something like olives, and then they're handling this not knowing the kind of danger that I mean, you're putting everybody in danger. If it's drugs, then you're also putting everybody in danger. I mean, I don't know if they have kids. If I had something that was illegal or dangerous, the last place I'm going to keep it is a place where everyone in the family is going to go to.
Yeah. And something like that, where I guess she said, you put it on a bottom shelf away from everything, thinking she's not going to clean out.
Get your own mini fridge and keep it in there.
Or like put it in the attic, hide it in the top of a closet, something where it's not. I wonder if it's like hiding in plain sight. He thinks that it's better.
I think it has to be refrigerated.
Okay. So it does need to be refrigerated.
If it was, because if not, if he was just trying to hide something that didn't need to be refrigerated, why wouldn't you just like hide it in the top of your closet or something like that?
Yeah, it's something where that makes sense then if it is like the explosive thing, and it's not necessarily that it needs to be refrigerated, but it needs to be kept in a contained space so as not to be dangerous. Or maybe it's something organic.
Yeah.
That he's concerned about. Someone said eyeballs or testicles. Another person did point out the sentence, I wonder if I messed up. He usually doesn't get that mad unless I've messed up, and I think I have this time.
Oh, that's like coded language.
Well, and yeah, when you're adults, right? Like,
yeah.
When I have been in relationships where I have been like verbally berated, I would always be like, oh, I'm sorry. Did I mess up? Or, and so that type of language does make you like make her sound like, oh, I messed up. He's going to get really mad. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's like, well, what the fuck else has he been hiding?
Yeah. I think you got to get into that box.
And that's what they said too. So he's got the olives allegedly for this friend, and she says he checks the box multiple times a day.
It's not olives, dude.
It can't be.
Hell no. Why would you give a shit? They're olives. The longer they sit there, the better they get. Just let them be. Yeah. If she thinks these are olives, I got an oceanfront property in Arizona for her. Like, and he's also, that's pretty, you think not very highly of your spouse if you're like, I can just pull this over on them saying that I'm keeping these olives in a metal box in the fridge and they're not going to ask any questions about it. If I came home with a metal box and I was like, do not touch this, Tommy, these are olives, and then I kept going to the fridge to check on them multiple times a day, he is going to ask me what the hell's going on.
Oh, absolutely. That behavior is completely strange, but especially, I mean, maybe that sentence does really show that she's too scared to check it. Like, oh, he told me don't look in it, so I'm going to get in trouble. On our Patreon Facebook group, Amy said drugs, body parts, alien life form, Sasquatch egg. It's odd that she hasn't looked and made sure there isn't something illegal. Someone on Reddit did say possibly a Jurassic Park situation.
A dinosaur?
It's maybe it's dinosaur DNA. Katie and Meg both have dick in a box. They said that's where my mind went, is JT and Andy Samberg. Frank Butafaro as well as Ashley both said what's in the box. Brad Pitt and Laura. That's everybody's go-to is what's in the box. I don't know, man. What do you...
My first gut instinct was organic matter from a person.
That's true. Hannah Lawrence Battle said it could possibly be old-timey film negatives. And she said that's a regular thing, but if you're too protective over it, it could be an original copy of something, I don't know. If it's old-timey.
Or film negatives of stuff that
Snuff film.
Yeah, or like kid stuff or something. It has to be something that he does not want her to see. So if it was just like regular film negatives, why would you care?
True.
So it has to be something illegal.
Yeah, my mama kept her gallstones in a mason jar in the fridge. I mean, for years, and she wasn't ashamed of that. It was a mason jar.
There you go.
Right there. I'd say, "Can I go look at the stones?" And she was like, "Yeah, I can go look at them." So if it's something that's you're not ashamed of, or it's not illegal or something. Lindsay Marie said that this sounds like the start of a true crime documentary of I didn't suspect a thing when the box was in the fridge. Just almost like the person with the driver's license they found in their basement.
And she also was very naive to think these must be the women that he's been cheating on me with and also killed. Like, I get that you don't want to think the worst of your spouse because that is terrifying to think you've been living with someone that's been doing something like that. But you got to get in that box because what if it is something super illegal and then you're implicated?
I have the type of relationship, too, that if Paris said, hey, I'm going to put this metal box in the fridge, Jeff gave it to me to store, and it's olives from his uncle's farm, I would be like, I want to see the olives. And if he was like, no, you can't see the olives, I'd be like, that ain't fucking olives. Give me that box.
Yeah.
But also, I don't ever fear, oh, my God, I've messed up and Paris is going to yell at me. So the relationship dynamics, she may not be empowered to, respond in that way.
It sounds like, yeah.
Jennifer.
It sounds like he is... there's a
control situation.
Power imbalance going on in the house. Yeah.
Jennifer and Katie said the first time he was out of sight, I would have already peeked out of in the box.
Yes,
within
absolutely.
seconds.
That's why I'm wondering if it's locked.
Yeah, or sealed somehow.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Unless she's just that scared to look at it because she thinks he'll know or something. But I think it's got to be a locked metal box.
Which is not how you store olives, like you said. That would
you
be
wouldn't
in a
store
jar.
them in a regular metal box. It's what a stupid thing to say you're storing.
It is ludicrous. Jeremy said, I'm very conscious of space and boundaries in my house. However, if my other half wants to refrigerate something clandestine, better get a neighbor to store it. The fridge is neutral territory.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Because what if it's something that would mess up the other, the food that we're eating?
Or put you in danger if it wasn't explosive or if it's a gun or something and a kid got a hold of that. It's just, that's irresponsible to keep anything like that. And that's why I think it is something that has to be refrigerated. Either drugs, organic matter, or film negatives of something illegal.
Or I think Katie Andrews solved the whole thing.
It's Iranian.
It's Iranian yogurt.
It's Iranian yogurt. Or it's
the Iranian and Cuban
that
yogurt.
Girl broke up with the dude. This is his new relationship. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So that. We'll
think
keep an eye on.
What do you legitimately think it is? What does your gut tell you?
My gut, I was thinking some kind of drugs, and that the refrigerator, and if it was like on the,
what?
It just popped in my head because somebody was like, oh, it's probably drugs. And someone else said, well, drugs don't need to be refrigerated. What if it's like illegally obtained COVID vaccines?
Ooh.
Because I was like, what drug has to be refrigerated? My dog's antibiotic medicine had to be refrigerated when I recently gave that to the goose. But I know it's probably the storage temperature is probably a lot colder that you have to store COVID vaccines at. But I wonder if it's true. Because initially I was like, well, drugs make sense, but why would it need to be in the fridge? And why would he flip shit if... Also, I was watching, flip shit if she took him out of the fridge. I was watching Better Call Saul, and that, like, unassuming guy from the pharmaceutical company was, like, selling pills. So maybe, she said he is a assistant at a marketing place, the husband in the story. But who knows if his friend doesn't really have an olive farm, but has a vaccine source and was stealing vaccines.
That's interesting. I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head any type of drug other than a pharmaceutical drug that would need to be refrigerated. But pharmaceutical drugs are, you can sell those for a shit ton of money.
I just Googled temperature to store COVID vaccine. It says the Pfizer biotech has submitted data to the FDA supporting the stability of their COVID-19 vaccine when stored for up to 1 month, 38 days at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius standard refrigerator temperature.
Heather, I think you got it.
I think we solved it. I think he stole COVID vaccines. I want to make a comment. Is it illegal COVID vaccines? I have to create an account. Never mind. Someone go comment on the Reddit.
Create a throwaway account.
Don't
tell anybody what it is. But
well, y'all are all going to go look and see that I'm the one that posted.
What? Well, that's true. What would he be doing with them? Selling them?
I wonder, selling them but the thing I don't get about that is the two things I've seen with vaccines is like early on, people were trying to get their hands on them because it was like hard to get. And so, you wanted to be the first in line to get them. Nowadays, if you sign up for a vaccine, you can go get one.
And they're free. So
it's free. Yeah. Your insurance has to pay for it. It's free or whatever. But the other ones I've seen is that people were stealing vaccines because they were anti-vaxxers and they thought they were like saving the world if they were like smashing vials. So then it wouldn't make sense for him to want to preserve them,
right.
If you were going to steal a vaccine and destroy it. So I wonder, maybe it's not a COVID vaccine, but maybe it's like something like that has to be.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see it being a pharmaceutical drug that has to be refrigerated because there are those. COVID, maybe not COVID specific, but maybe something in that, under that umbrella, like a Delta variant vaccine, or just like maybe he has a friend that works for somebody that's like, shit's about to get wild and you need to have these on hand.
Yeah, I mean, like when I was back in the day when we were going through the swine flu and my friend had the Tamiflu that she got from Turkey and she kept it in a safe in our office and was like, only you know the
because
safe.
It was supposed to help with bird flu?
Yeah, it was supposed to. This was swine flu, I think.
Or swine flu?
And and the Tamiflu would like help, I guess. I don't know if that was true or not, but that was what was in the news. And the city of Chicago had like said they were like out of it.
Oh, I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder if there's some type of, vaccines in general, I believe need to be refrigerated, but I wonder if there's some type of like get you high kind of like drug that has to be refrigerated. But that just seems like a lot of effort to get high when there's other stuff that you could do that's like a lot less.
I think it's some sort of drug, or I'm leaning more now towards drugs than like fingers or something, because I also think you might smell that.
Yeah, even if it was refrigerated.
Yeah, and
it's
in
not
a box.
Frozen.
Yeah, so I think it might be drug related.
Yeah, some type of like illegal drug. And when the guy that blew up the water thing in Plano, I think he put his stuff in the freezer. I don't know that there's a right way to store explosives in your refrigerator, but I'm not sure. But I think that's more likely because I think you're right. If we're going by the evidence that we have in front of us, the man didn't freak out because she touched the box or moved it, which to me would more indicate explosives. It's going to blow up. He freaked out when he found out she unplugged the fridge and had put it at room temperature. So I think you're right in saying it has to, something that does have to be refrigerated, but not a decaying organic matter, because she would have smelled it by now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because even if, you say, well, I refrigerate this chicken, that doesn't mean it's unlimited. It starts to stink after a few days, or shrimp or whatever you're going to put in your fridge. And so if it was some like eyeball or testicles or fingers or whatever that could fit in a metal box, I don't think that's what it is, because I think it would start to stink. So it's probably some type of vaccine or drug or something like that.
I think it's a drug that has to be refrigerated.
Now we just need that person to update us. Literally every comment, there's like 750 comments on there and another like 30 on our Reddit page or our Facebook group that was like, what the fuck is in that box? Like, we have to know what's in that box.
I can't believe she hasn't opened it. Unless it sounds like there's some other shit going on in their relationship too. But if you are harboring some kind of illegal drug or new vaccine that like he got tipped off that like, this is coming out and, you need to have this. Keep your family safe. I don't know. Something weird.
Yeah. And that may be it. Or maybe like he has heard, or right or wrong, like, oh, well, we're going to need booster shots and then everybody's going to run out of vaccines because there's not enough to give people booster shots. So we got to, but in that case, why wouldn't you just take it? I don't know.
But if you think about it too, a lot of stuff in like medicine is transported in like metal boxes. Like when people will bring like vaccines and drugs to doctor's offices, or when they have to take and dispose of stuff from a doctor's office.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's in a box like that. Because I was also like, what if it was like, what if it's like fertility drugs?
He's like, well, was he like secretly
selling them or something?
Them?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's
or something
true.
like that. I don't know.
But it's first of all, I think we can all agree it's not olives. There's like no chance that it's olives. No chance.
And as someone who loves olives, I'm offended that he's even trying to paint olives in this bad light.
Don't bring him into this. But yeah, I think he's doing something illegal because he's obviously done it before when she said, oh, he holds car parts and things for his friends.
Well, the car part, and then something like this, maybe he is building some sort of a bomb.
I don't know. Watch out.
I mean, if you've got like, if you don't know a lot about cars or car parts and you're like, these are my car parts. And it's like, huh, that also looks like something that could make a pipe bomb. And then you've also got, it's something unsavory, illegal.
Yeah, regardless. Yeah. What do we say with all this? A lot of times it's am I the asshole or the relationship? It's a breakdown of communication between the partners here. That he's obviously closed the door to any sort of questions about what could possibly be going wrong. And then also doesn't feel comfortable, whether for safety reasons, emotional abuse reasons, or just in general intimacy reasons, not to be able to ask him. In that case, open that shit, because you may go to, or just take it to the cops and go, this was in my house. I don't know. I don't know what this is.
What was her question?
Open it, and it's olives.
They're like, oh yeah, these are just some green olives.
These are great. And they eat them all, and then Jason's real mad. He's like, those are my grandpa's only olives. My grandpa's dead and his farm is closed. Her question was, is she an asshole because she cleaned the refrigerator out?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I mean, if she's operating under the guise that these are olives and she's trusting her partner that these are olives and they can also be kept out and they're not going to like go bad, then no, she's not an asshole. If he was like, these are highly illegal vaccines and they can't not be refrigerated. Well, one, that's a whole other thing. But then, yeah, she might be an asshole because she set them on the counter for 2 hours while she cleaned the fridge.
I mean, he just said that the olives really needed to be in the fridge. He said, be cautious and don't open it. Yeah,
so he's telling her not to open it. Why wouldn't? Yeah, dude, nah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Have got to know what's going on.
The Reddit username is AITA fridge out 4563. It was posted 7 days ago, and I clicked on their post. They have not made another post, and then their comments are someone said, what does your husband do for work? Sanitation, construction. These are like mafia ones. She said, no, he works as an assistant at a marketing company. And then another person said, let's see. I don't know that it's typical to
company.
I don't know that it's typical to leave everything out for hours to clean a fridge. I usually do a shelf at a time, and that way it doesn't compromise any groceries. This method sounds like it may be able to compromise your groceries. She said, I only kept the unopened canned goods out of the fridge with no issues. The vegetables can stay out of the fridge for a couple of hours. I've done it before. Nothing goes rotten, just vegetables. I try to clean one shelf at a time, but it's just easier to do it all at once.
I will agree that her method of cleaning the fridge is bizarre. I've never cleaned a fridge like that, but to each their own. I've also never unplugged a fridge when I've cleaned it. But I guess if she had the doors open and was like taking everything out and had the doors open for a while, then that would make sense why you would unplug it, I guess. But yeah, that's not even the issue. The issue is 100% that there's something in this box.
Well, and she said, I told my husband that the olives are fine, room temperature. I know that they don't get rotten if kept out of the fridge for hours. He still thought I didn't know for sure, and he kept saying I shouldn't tamper with other people's stuff. So yeah,
he's definitely like using this friend as the excuse of why and trying to make her feel guilty about it. It's all.
Yeah. Someone said, what is in the box? And the original poster said, like my husband said, it's freshly picked olives, but I've never opened it to see for myself. You're living in a fantasy world, man. That's not olives.
Like my husband said. So she's not even saying there's something not olives in the box. She's just asking if she's the asshole for putting so she's operating under the assumption still that these are olives.
It's either ignorance due to fear or willful ignorance because in denial. Someone's like, did you just open the box? And she said, no, why would I? Since my husband said it contained olives. Honestly, I don't know why people here think it's weird. My husband can be a little too dramatic and overprotective of others' belongings. And since the box of olives belongs to his friend, then why bother looking inside of it? It's not like he took it from a stranger.
I'm also going to say that this has a lot of troll vibes for me.
Oh, you think it's a fake?
I think it could. I mean, I think a lot of these at times, because like, who wouldn't look in that? And the fact that they're going like out of their way to be like, what? It's just olives. Why would I open it? My husband told me it's olives. I mean, I don't know. It seems fishy, but regardless, fake or not fake, not olives.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Someone said, even if it is fake, at least give us a good fake answer.
Right?
Oh,
man. Well, that was a good one. These are all good
Andrea.
ones.
Sinisterhood will be right back. The final case on our docket, Your Honor, is from Kate, and this is a serious one, and I hope that you'll be able to help.
Okay.
Kate says, jumping right in, I have a grievance. My husband, 31-year-old male, approximately 200 pounds, is insistent that he would win in a physical fight with a chimp. No one can convince him that he is severely underestimating the brute strength of an ape. Have you seen photos of hairless chimps? And what about that woman who is not even fighting her chimp and got her face destroyed? This man is strong, but he is 100% not chimp strong. You'd think this was a one-time conversation, but you would be surprised how often this topic actually comes up. Anyway, short of finding a chimp that he could ethically fight, I'm hoping Judge Christie's official ruling will knock some sense into him. Thank you for your help, Judge and Bailiff, Kate. He's insistent?
Oh, man. I'll tell you what. I think you are underestimating what a chimpanzee, even the little ones. We all saw Nope. It did, like, what? That was a chimp, right?
I think it was a chimp. Yeah, and Nope.
Yep.
Man. Yeah, that's eerie.
And also, what monster fights a baby chimp? Like, go straight to hell if you do that. Like, even an adult chimp, I don't think you should be fighting.
No, you shouldn't fight any animal. But if you're like, I can take a chimp, maybe one of the little ones. You mean a baby? You mean you want to
don't fight those?
Go into the nest. They don't have nests. Go into the chimp's nest and take a baby out of its eggshell. Mm-hmm. No, yeah, you have to help knock some sense into this person.
No,
but he says he's 31 years old, 200 pounds, and he's strong.
Not as strong as that. Like she said, he's not chimp strong, which is now something I will be saying.
Hashtag chimp strong. How strong is a chimp? We're gonna ask the internet, and I will let you know.
What's his name?
Here's why.
Who's the one nut biker?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? A bicycle? A chimp on a bicycle?
Who is the professional bicyclist that has one nut?
Lance Armstrong.
He had Livestrong.
Yes.
Wow, now I forgot what we said a second ago. That
Chimp Strong. We said it was going to be Chimp Strong.
We got to get yellow Chimp Strong bracelets made.
Yeah, because you know what? They're yellow like bananas. To go with it. This is what I was going to say. This is why we support journalism. ABC News already has our backs. An article called Chimps versus Humans, Sizing Up Their Strength. So
is it just say error 404, don't do this?
Yeah, it says just fucking don't. It's not even a whole article. No, it says chimpanzees are considered the closest living relative of humans, sharing 95 to 98% of the same DNA, according to Jane Goodall, a well-respected researcher who once yelled at Heather McKinney during a Q&A.
She did?
She didn't yell at me. She yelled at one of my classmates who said, "What was
yelled?"
She was
angrily.
Listen, she was within her rights to sternly correct my classmate who said, what was it like to be with all those monkeys? And she was like, they're not monkeys. She took it quite personally, but we're idiot teenagers who had no business being there, but very nice of them to host us. But she said that they are the closest living relative to humans. In no way, Your Honor, take this into consideration for your ruling. In no way do humans compare with a chimp's sheer strength, and the few percentage points in which the two differ are extreme. The Steve Ross, the director of the Fisher Center for the Study of Apes at the Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago, where we've been, he said the closest thing we know to human warfare. Wait, what? It's the closest thing we know to human warfare. He said chimps are incredibly strong and fast, so humans are easily overpowered. They are 4 times as strong as humans, but comparable in size, which is important too, is they can get you right on your level.
Wait, when they say human warfare, do they mean like they could rise up and take out humans?
If they get coordinated enough, yeah.
Fuck.
Planet of the Apes. And this is very interesting from a scientific perspective. It says the difference in strength between the two species lies in muscle performance. In chimps, muscle fibers closest to the bone, so that's the ones that are the source of strength in both chimps and humans, are longer and more dense in chimps. So that means a chimp is able to generate more power using the same range of motion. And unlike humans, chimpanzees have less control over their muscles. As a result, they use more muscle strength than necessary, according to a theory that was published in the Current Anthropology Journal. So it says the lack of physical control can potentially lead some chimps to become more aggressive when being physical. Not that they're a more aggressive animal in general. It said that they might, and Jane Goodall's research has shown in some cases of these chimp attacks that you hear about, like Kate wrote about in her petition, that, you know, it's a very famous case where that woman had a chimpanzee, and that
it was her pet, right?
It was her pet.
She took bubble baths with it, gave it lobster and steak.
They were besties, but Jane Goodall said her research showed that in many of these cases where chimps have attacked, that they maybe weren't even intending to be malicious, but that they have those faster twitch or those more durable, longer muscle fibers, and they hit much, much harder and get frenzied up. So that is a very fascinating. They said they're very similar to humans, but
we're not beating this chimp, buddy.
Yeah, with the just putting that out there. Yeah, it says the nature of their muscles and the fact that they're inherently wild and trained and untrained individuals should never let their guard down around a chimp. They said the natural tendency of chimpanzees is one of aggression. And
I think they're one of the last animal I would want to come in contact with in the wild.
They're too smart.
They're also fucking destructive. I mean, they'll rip you limb from limb.
That's exactly what all these experts in this article who said, including Steve Ross, who directs the chimp exhibit at the Lincoln Park Zoo. To sum it up, there's never a safe time to be in the same place as a chimp.
God damn. Imagine that's your reputation.
Well, Kate's husband, we got a message for you from Steve Ross.
Don't do it.
Of the Lincoln Park Zoo.
Don't do it. You got no chance, no matter how small. It could have been the run of the litter. You're still not taking it down. It's gotcha.
If it is the run of the litter, then you're beating up a baby chimp and you're a monster. And don't do that either.
Never,
It's only fair.
Also, what is it, 98%?
Similar.
It's like, why?
Why would you want to hurt a chimp?
It's like, look into their eyes.
What can they teach us?
First of all, if you really do look into the eyes of a chimp or an orangutan,
they're real. They're first of all, they are real animals.
They are.
But they have souls.
I truly feel
they have
a gorilla's eyes?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, give me a break.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
The chimp at the Lincoln Park Zoo, it's funny, I just remembered this, that when I walked by the enclosure one time, one of the lady chimps was just cheeks to the wall.
Nice.
Cheeks to the window, and people were gawking.
She
was just...
She put them on the glass.
She put her cheeks on the glass, and she was having herself a good time.
Oh.
And was just going for it.
By herself?
Yeah, just going for it.
Fuck.
And the crowd had gathered. And then, you hear that there's 98% like people, and you go, I think it's closer to 100%.
Oh
I think it's
man.
closer to 100. Oh,
Yeah.
it's a good time.
Well, Heather needs to go write that joke down because that was fun.
It's recorded. I think we'll remember.
That was fun. No, my final ruling is no, you can't ever beat a chimp, and don't even try it. I think honestly, it's one of like the last animals I would want to have a tussle with.
Oh, yeah. It's never a safe
A
place
shark,
to be.
don't want to do that. Like a
No.
great white specifically.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do that.
Alligator or a crocodile, no.
They're
thank
dragons.
you.
Those are unflying
Oh
dragons.
man, and like the sheer strength, it's
Hippos?
hippos. People don't even know
They don't consider.
how deadly and destructive the hippo is. And also, they're running along the bottom of the rivers.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
And then when they come up, it's because they're jumping.
They're strong.
If you see underwater footage of hippos, it's fucking crazy.
I don't like the negative portrayal of hippos in the media up to this point because we've all been misled to think they're ballerinas or
Yeah.
British people buying stuff up. What was it, Mary and Joe? There was a book series of 2 elephants.
Fiona is trying to,
Or hippos.
she's trying to rebrand them.
Yeah, she is rebranded.
But
them.
also,
That's good.
she would crush you to death.
She's amazing.
And that's her right because she's a hippo, and who are we?
It's Something in Martha is the book series. Nevertheless,
They'll knock over a
yeah.
boat and just, it's crazy.
they eat a lion.
The TikToks of people like going on excursions to go see these hippos.
Yeah.
And there's just hippos like right there. And they're, one of them, the freaking boat stalls out.
God damn.
And I'm like, this thing's about to knock y'all's ass over, and it should.
Yeah, you don't have to swim faster than the hippo. You just have to swim faster than the person behind you,
Yeah.
I guess. God.
Yeah. Well,
Or
it
it's
didn't.
a hungry hippo. It's going to get you all. It doesn't matter.
They all come together. They all come together.
Oh my God.
Do you know those things have names on the board games?
What are they?
Real stupid.
I'm going to look them up.
One is like Veggie-saurus or Veggie-potosaurus.
Okay, here we go. There were 4 hippopotamuses in the original version of the game. Lizzie Hippo, pink purple, Henry Hippo, orange, Homer Hippo, green, and Harry Hippo,
That's
yellow.
not the ones on our game.
So did they? Oh, here we go. In fall 2009, North American edition of the game has a lighter blue base with pastel color versions of the hippos. Sweetie Potamus is
Yeah,
pink.
that's one.
Bottomless Potamus is yellow.
Yeah.
Veggie Potamus is green. And Picky Potamus is orange.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, that's the same names. Yeah, they just rebrand. They keep rebranding it.
Yeah, they're real stupid.
Just in general, the names or the
The
hippos?
names. I
Oh, yeah.
recently had, we have Hungry Hippo, so I recently was looking at those and I was like, why would these be the names? This is like, to name a Hungry Hippo seems like a gift.
Yeah.
And you could choose something iconic. This is going on like a classic board game that has withstood the sands of
forever.
time among generations, and you're choosing Sweetie Potamus?
Yeah, it came out in 1967 and
What are
it's
you
here
doing?
today.
You have like an opportunity here.
You could have called it Fiona. You could have called it
Veggie Potamus? What is that? That's not even like funny.
Is the hippo made of vegetables or it only eats vegetables?
I think
Or
it's because
both?
it's green. I don't
Yeah.
know. But it just sounds like they just like
They phoned it
mailed it in.
in. Yeah, they phoned it in.
Yeah, they needed somebody like us.
I want to know what happened in 2009 that caused the game makers to go, we got to do a rebrand. Were sales dipping at the Hungry Hippos and they needed to jazz it up for the youth?
Yeah, maybe.
I guess. And that's where Veggiepotamus was born. No, thank you.
Well, word got out that hippos are actually killers, and so then
did have to
sales
rebrand.
took a dive.
They're like, they're sweet. This one's picky.
You can't support that.
That's true. They gave the name Sweetie, so that means it's sweet and it's not going to get
veggie.
you.
They eat
Veggie-
vegetables, not people.
Picky-potamus is not going to eat you. It's too picky. However, Bottomless Potamus, the yellow one,
Can't get enough.
is a killer. He ate my whole
He
family.
is like a bottomless mimosa. He's
Damn, that's why
coming
he's
back for
yellow.
more.
It's the color of a mimosa.
Just coming back for more and more boats.
God damn. Well, Your Honor, final ruling, no chimp fight allowed.
No.
We're saying overalls for everybody at work.
Yeah.
We're saying you don't have to abide the butt cracks, but I think creative problem solving would be fun. And then for our Salem seats debacle, I would say Just either pay it and be cool about it, or I say don't pay it at all.
I say,
and mention it.
You got to decide what is more important to you.
Yeah.
And then go that direction.
Go that direction. Well, thank you, Your Honor, for...
Thank you for having me. This courtroom's been great today.
Entertaining this docket today. Thanks to everybody who sent in your grievances. If you have a grievance, you can go to sinisterhood.com/contact.
Well, if you like our free episodes, you'll love our Patreon bonus content. You just got a nice little Appetizer sampler of some of the fun stuff we do over there. These aren't even all the bits that we have over there, just some. But if you want more of that, you can join on our Patreon to get more content, or you can join for free just to see what we're up to next. And we give you a free archived bonus content once a month just for signing up.
Absolutely. You can also do a free trial. It's a week for free. You can binge the entire episode versions of these. If you check the episode description, you can hear all the things, the full versions of, I mean, you heard the full segment, but there's other ones on either side of it. And you can hear our mini-sodes. You can check out some of the live stream Q&As we've done. We've done some bonus content like this live. And we also have just the best community of listeners on the internet. So if you are having fun commenting on it to yourself in your car, go check out the actual post with the link in the episode description and see the very funny comments that our listeners leave, because they're funnier than us sometimes.
Man, the comments on Patreon and then the chat and the Q&As and the live quarterly live stream, people are so funny. Like,
so funny.
Y'all think we're funny? Like, some of our listeners, most of them, are way funnier than us.
Yes, absolutely. Like, cracks us up to the point that we like scream their names excitedly when they come into the chat. So we're so excited to scream your name when you come into our chat. That sounded filthier than it was. It's Patreon, not OnlyFans.
It sounded like you made a new platform called Patreon, not OnlyFans.
Patreon, not OnlyFans. Oh, and as a reminder, our live stream, our monthly Q&A is this week. It's actually Thursday, May 30th. Pending if we have electricity, we'll keep you updated. We should. Things should be great. Yeah. But we film it at my house, so if I don't have electricity, we might have to reschedule.
I'm going to say we will, because...
Yes, it will be fine.
I'm manifesting that for us.
Also, if there's no electricity, I don't have AC, and I'm just going to leave the country. I can't live like that.
Yep. That is where we'll all be headed to Canada if that happens. Well, for recent patrons, thank you so much for supporting the show, and make sure you stick around after our sign-offs to hear your shout-out.
Head over to Sinisterhood.com and click shop on the top banner to shop merch like t-shirts, mugs, totes, stickers, and even clothes for your kiddos. Our Believe and Be Kind Flatwoods monster shirt designed by Ella makes a very cute adult kiddo matching pair, which we've seen several of. And don't forget to shop our merch clearance sale before the sizes run out. We only have limited sizes and options there, but they're deeply discounted. And you can use your Patreon merch discount.
While you're on our website, you can also review the show. We make it super simple to leave us a review. You can follow us on socials, check out the episode description for sources used during our research, and you'll also find fun things like topic-based playlists and links to all those live show tickets for the Full Moon Energy Tour.
You can follow us on Instagram and Threads at Sinisterhood Pod, like us on Facebook at Sinisterhood. You can watch video versions of our episodes on YouTube, even though they drop early and ad-free on Patreon, and you can check out clips of the show and longer clips on TikTok. And if you want a custom video shout out for yourself, you can order that on cameo.com. It's a great gift for the Sinisterhood fan in your life, where we deliver a video message saying whatever you want us to say, where it's congratulations, happy birthday, happy anniversary, etc. And you can also ask for one of the little guys from our studio here, whether it's a Popple or Fuckmouth Moon, any of that. Tell them to make a little cameo.
McGruff made an appearance last night.
Oh, McGruff was on one last night. He was singing. He was like singing some Marilyn Monroe style birthday, but the request said, can McGruff please serenade the birthday girl? So McGruff provided. But
we make dreams come true. That's what we do here.
Oh, yes. Not just us, but McGruff too. Well, Christy, where can people watch you make dreams come true on the internet?
Well,
Patreon,
that
not
is my
OnlyFans.
Patreon, not OnlyFans, but you can also follow me on Instagram and Threads at Christy M. Wallace and TikTok at Christy or GTFO. Heather, what about you?
I'm on the internet at Heather versus the world.
As always, the devil rules the airwaves.
Keep it creepy. everybody. Thank you so much for supporting the show on Patreon. Here are your special Patreon shoutouts. Olivia,
Bailey Sullivan,
Kate Bishop,
Rosalind Harnius,
Julie Larson,
Abby,
Candace Carroll,
Chelsea Allgood,
Kelsey Egbrecht,
Sarah,
Skylar Revel,
Heather Bevan,
Kristen Honey,
Jane Young,
Whitney,
and Marcia. Thank you all so much for supporting this show. We could not do this without you. We sincerely appreciate all your love and support. We hope we pronounced your names correctly. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep it creepy.
Sinisterhood.